DreAllDay.com.
Dre Baldwin with DreAllDay.com. Let's talk about doing your own research. This is a phrase that I think everybody's heard and all of us have used, and connecting to the last conversation that we had where I was talking about critical thinking and being willing to question everything. People human beings do this all the time, is that we use certain phrases to support our arguments when it works in our favor, and then we take that same argument and we use it to attack other people when it's going against what we believe. And often, unfortunately, with human beings, and this is becoming a more pervasive issue because of the media that we use and the internet, and the way it's kind of engineered, not kind of, but it is engineered to warp our thinking, is that we base our arguments a lot of times these days on beliefs and not on actual information, not on facts, not on research, not on critical thinking, but just on what we emotionally believe, but not what we have verified or know to be true. And the point is this: when someone says something like, I did my own research, again, we will all use that when it supports something that we have decided to believe in or something that we have decided to connect with. But when someone does their own research and they end up disagreeing with you, you attack them with, well, why are you doing your own research? You don't know enough. You're not qualified. You don't have any type of verification, certification in XYZ topic. Why are you doing your own research? It doesn't even make any sense. We all do this all the time, right? Well, here's the thing that I want you to get. All smart people do their own research on every subject. I'm going to say it again. All smart people do their own research. All critical thinkers do their own research. No critical thinking person, no smart, worth their weight in dollars person allows somebody else to do research for them and then trust it without verification. And note every word that I just said there. Yes, you can have someone do research for you and get information for you. You can say to somebody, hey, give me information on this subject, this subject, this subject, and let them get it and give it to you. But you verify that information. All critical thinkers trust but verify. Thank you for giving me this information. Thank you for letting me know about that. How do you know that this is true? How do you know that it's accurate? Where did you get this information from? All right, did you double check your sources? Did you fact check yourself on anything that you're presenting to me? Critical thinkers do this. All critical thinkers do their own research on some level. Just because somebody on TV said something, I don't care what their job title is. I don't care if they're government, if they're in medical, if they have XYZ credibility points. Again, you can trust them. Trust that they are attempting to give you the best information to the best of their knowledge. You can trust if you wish. You can be skeptical if you wish. You can trust if you wish, but you always verify. I don't care who gives you the information. You always verify anything that's given to you. So anytime that you, and hopefully you haven't been making this mistake, and it is a mistake. If you catch yourself telling someone they're not qualified to do their own research because they don't have this title, that title, or a third title, this is a glaring display of a lack of critical thinking. Because a critical thinker always verifies anything, especially if it is connected to something that they're going to do to or for themselves. So, for example, if someone in government or some business leader or some medical professional tells me that I should do XYZ that's affecting my life directly, I will trust that they at least believe that they know what they're talking about and that they are giving me information to the best of what they know. But at the same time, I'm the one who has to live with the actions that follow that advice. You understand? And because of that, I'm going to do my own research. I can use what they said as a basis. Okay, they said you need to do this and this, and here's why. Okay, I'm going to go look up those things that they told me to do and the why that they gave, and I'm going to go see, can I verify that what they told me is actually true? And if I can't verify it, or I find something that is conflicting with what they shared, I want to go find out that they offer that part as well. And if they didn't, now I'm going to be skeptical of that person moving forward. And if they did, I want to know, okay, well, if I find something that conflicts with what this expert, this credible person, quote unquote, told me, I want to know, were they open with that information? If they weren't, now I'm not sure I can listen to them that much anymore. And if they were, I want to know what else they said about it. This is a skill of critical thinking. Now, if you listen to what I'm saying here, you might notice this requires a little bit more work. Critical thinking is a little bit more work than just accepting what's told to you. Let me say that again, because it's true. Critical thinking is more work than just blindly accepting anything that is told to you or given to you by some person who has, in your eyes, a position of authority. You have to do a little bit more work. You have to think a little bit harder. You might not be able to come to a conclusion as quickly because you got to do more information and some research in order to get the actual information that you need in order to make a decision. All of this is part of the process of being a critical thinker. Critical thinking is more work. Thinking is a job, people. I did a whole episode of my podcast on this exact topic. Thinking is a job. Thinking is not something that you can outsource to another person. I don't care, again, whatever position of authority, whatever authority you look up to, you cannot outsource this to those people. You cannot outsource your thinking to the mayor or the governor or the president. You cannot outsource your thinking to a doctor or to a physician or a surgeon or a dentist or whoever. You cannot outsource your thinking to a social media influencer or a famous athlete or your favorite rapper or singer or a supermodel or whoever it is that you look up to. You cannot outsource thinking to another person. Yes, you can let someone else get some information for you and even do some basic research on your behalf. But again, like I talked about in the last video, trust but verify. Trust that what they're giving you is to the best of their knowledge, but verify that it's actually making sense for you, is making sense to you, and it makes sense in your personal best interests. That is your job, to trust but verify. You cannot blindly accept any information from anyone. I don't care if they're your husband of 15 years, if they're your parents, if they're your favorite school teacher from back in the day, if they're the president that you voted for. You cannot just blindly trust information coming from anybody. It is your job to verify that a person is giving you something that's actually going to be useful for you. This is the job of thinking. This is the job of doing your own research. The point being, this is the bottom line point of everything that I'm saying here. You must always do your own research. And there is never anything wrong with doing your own research. Everything is right with doing your own research. Any of you who is accepting the things that you hear and acting on them and living off of them based off of someone else's research, and you haven't verified or confirmed any of that research coming from that other individual, you're setting yourself up for failure. Why? Because you've outsourced your thinking to another person. Thinking is an inside job, folks. It always has been and it always will be. And it might not feel like it to some of you. And maybe some of you looking at some of the people around you, it might seem like a lot of people have outsourced their thinking to other people. I'm making this video to stress to you, you shouldn't fall into this trap of this quicksand of outsourcing your thinking to another person. Again, regardless of who they are, regardless of their credibility, regardless of their credentials, you always have to make the final decisions for yourself. And here's the reason why, the practical, logical reason why. You have to live with the decision. If some person with certain job title or certain status tells you to do X, Y, Z, and you just accept it and go do it blindly without thinking about it, and that ends up hurting you following that person's advice, who's responsible for that? Them or you? You might think them. I say you. You're responsible for it because you did what somebody else told you to do without thinking about it. Well, whose job was it to think about it? Them or yours? It's your job to think about what you're going to do for yourself, regardless of who told you to do it. So keeping in mind that thinking is an inside job. Critical thinking is something that cannot be outsourced. Thinking, period, cannot be outsourced to anybody else. This is something that you will have as a responsibility for all of your days, okay? And this takes more work and it requires a larger time investment than having somebody else tell you what to think or how to think. Everybody clear on that? Now, with all that said, I send out a daily motivation text every single day that I want to send to you. If you would like to receive it, all you got to do is send me a text at my number. My number is 305-384-6894. That's the same number that I'll text you from every day with my daily motivation message, straight to your phone, free of charge, guaranteed to keep you focused, sharp, and on point. So that number is also down below in the description of this video. And I got a Bulletproof Mastermind. That's my mastermind group coaching program where every week I do a live training on business and on mindset, where we do exchanges of information, exchange of knowledge, exchange of skills. You don't have to be doing everything by yourself in your business, especially those of you who are trying to build a brand, get your name out there. Don't keep trying to do everything by yourself. It will take you too long and you're not good at everything. So either way, you're not putting yourself in a good space if you're trying to do that. Join the Bulletproof Mastermind by going to workonyourgameuniversity.com/group. That link is also down below. It's workonyourgameuniversity.com. You can get into the mastermind and start working with us. Every training, there's networking happening. Every training, connections are being made, relationships being built. People are offloading work, passing it on to someone else who can do it better than them. That's what you want, right? So join that mastermind. Again, that link is down below, as is my number. Work on your game. Dre, all